The Angels trading for Lucas Giolito and Reynaldo Lopez for their number 2 and 3 prospect. So the Angels are going for it.
Yep.
They are all in. Shohei Ohtani is staying. They've added players to fill 2 big holes in their roster in a starting pitching spot and bullpen arms. They needed that desperately. So Reynaldo Lopez to the bullpen, Giolito now to the rotation, who steps in as your number 2 starter behind Shohei. And they give up a big catching prospect in Edgar Quero and left-handed pitcher Kai Bush. But number 2 and 3 prospects, the catcher was the big one.
Mm-hmm.
This trade, this was a big haul for the White Sox,
yep.
I would say. But from the Angels' perspective, here's where I stand. From the Angels' perspective, you appear to have your catcher of the future in Logan O'Hoppe.
Yes.
Who is unfortunately hurt, has been most of the year, but could come back into the year. I hear there's a good chance he comes back into the year, but you appear to have your catcher of the future. So, okay, you flip your big catcher prospect to go for it now. And the left-handed pitcher is also a big prospect for them. I did a lot of thinking about this last night, Alex. A lot. And look, it's easy for us armchair GMs to say, well, just trade him. What are you doing? You should have traded Shohei, and now the organization, you got 2 months, and are you going to make the playoffs? Your odds are still slim. What are you doing? But I respect it. I will say that. I respect them going for it and doing everything that they can to potentially keep the greatest player that we have ever seen. If I'm an owner, right? If I'm the owner of this team, you have to wake up and understand that I have the greatest player, and I'm going to scratch and crawl like hell to try and keep him when all is said and done. Think of it this way. If you're handed the keys to the greatest car of all time, it's the nicest car that's ever existed. Are you going to trade that car in early to try and get a few cars that might live up to the standards someday? Are you just going to hold on to it for as long as you possibly can and hope and pray that you can ultimately keep on to it forever? That's probably what you're going to do if you have him. So everyone out there saying, trade him, what are you doing? You got to help the future of the organization. I do get it. I really do. But thinking so much about this, you have the greatest player ever. When we look back at Babe Ruth, you know what he's remembered as? A New York Yankee. He's not remembered as a Boston Red Sox who traded him to the Yankees and were subsequently cursed for 86 years because they traded him. You know, we're not talking this normal player. We're not talking a normal guy. And we're not talking a normal package that you would get in return, because if you were going to trade him, you should have done it last year. And you didn't. So go for it. I respect it. I get it. I understand it. And we can all sit here and say, what are you doing? It's not the right move. But you have the greatest player of all time. You have 2 months to go for it and make the playoffs and then hope and pray that he re-signs with your team. They're doing that. And I do respect it. At least you tried, okay? At least you went down knowing you tried.
Yeah, and right now, they're playing decent baseball. They're only 4 games out of a wild card spot with 2 teams above them in the Yankees and the Red Sox. Plus, you're going to get Mike Trout back within a month, maybe? Has it been a month? We're kind of around that. It could be a month, a little over a month to get
Trout
him back.
You're getting
Trout back.
You're getting Neto back. You're getting O'Hoppe back. You're getting Drury back. You're adding some pieces. So, Anthony Rendon, I mean, but
I mean, that's if he can stay healthy, and that obviously has not panned out during his time with the Angels. But we've talked about it like this entire week to 2 weeks. Like, the only way the Angels were ever going to trade Shohei Ohtani is if they got an offer that they could not refuse. Obviously, they did not get an offer that they thought was, okay, this is incredible, we're going to do it. And then they started winning some games. I think right after they swept the Yankees, the mindset kind of changed a little bit, and they saw the light of, I think we can go for this. I think we can make it. Yeah. And as you said, if you have a glimmer of hope with the greatest player in the game of baseball right now, and if you make a playoff run, if you make it to the postseason, there's a possibility that you might be able to keep him if you're willing to shell out close to $700 million. But let's roll this right into making a statement, okay? Because our first one has to do with the Angels. So let's dive deeper into this. Our first statement is the Angels going for it is the right move.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say yes for everything I just said, like you can sit there at home and be an armchair GM, but is that realistic? We're not the owners of the team. We're not the GM of the team. And the owners and GM currently have the greatest player that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
So look, let's just look at this realistically. If you were to trade Shohei at this point, you're not getting a fair return for what he's actually worth. You're getting a return for what he's worth for 2 months, which there's no guarantee that return would transform your organization for the next decade. There's just not. So you're within reach of a wild card spot. You have Shohei, and they're going for it. I respect that wholeheartedly. There's a big chance that this all comes crashing and burning down and it works out miserably. But in the slim chance that it works, at least you tried.
Yeah, and big congrats to all the Angel fans out there that can now rest easy for the rest of the season, knowing that they're going to have Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout come back. Hopefully it turns out good.
Are they resting easy though? Because now it's like, okay, well now we have to.
Now you have to, but now you have them, and now there's playoff hopes.
Yeah,
there's the hope that there's an opportunity to make a run for the postseason right now. But keeping Ohtani, being buyers, getting Mike Trout back soon, getting all the other players off the IL soon. This is hope that there's a chance. And you know what's being a fan without a little hope, right?
Yeah. I tweeted this last night when it happened. What? I need Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout in the playoffs like I need air to breathe.
Yeah.
And I feel
they deserve it.
I feel like all of baseball fans, no matter who you're a fan of, it would be great to see those two in the playoffs together. Yeah. It would. Is it going to happen? I don't know. So. But they're going for it. And if you think the Angels are done with just Lucas Giolito, this was just the first move. This was them saying to the world, we are buyers.
Yep.
Actually, them saying that was them saying Shohei's off the trading block.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went out and proved that they're buyers. And then immediately we hear that there's other names they're on the lookout for. So the Angels are buyers. And this isn't the one move that they are going to make. Is it the right move being the statement? I don't know, but I do respect it. I do respect it. It could all come burning down, but you're going for it with the greatest we've seen and the greatest in the game, certainly right now, in hopes of your very, very, very slim chance of re-signing him. You got to respect it.
And you got to go for it.
I respect it.